It all started a month ago with a dream that repeated itself every night. I was standing by the railroad tracks that stretched into the darkness. A sound was coming from somewhere in the distance, slow, heavy, organic. It was like a heartbeat, the heartbeat of a train. At first, I didn't pay attention, just a strange dream, probably because of fatigue. But then everything changed. Scratches appeared on the wall next to my bed. In the dust, there were footprints, as if something was crawling around the room. My palms were covered with raw wounds, as if I had been clutching hot iron all night. Then the dream changed. I was standing closer to the tracks, and for the first time I saw the silhouette of a train emerge from the fog. I couldn't see the details, but I felt it was looking at me. Those were not headlights. Those were eyes. Suddenly, I found myself inside the carriage. I don't remember how. It was dark. Workbenches, strange tools, books, and people screaming in strange voices. Their faces were distorted, unreal, like drawings that someone created from memory. But something went wrong. One figure stood out among them all. It was tall and hooded. It silently led the others. I wanted to get closer, to see his face, but he saw me first. What I felt in that moment was ancient, predatory, indescribable. I woke up in a cold sweat at 4 in the morning. There was a piece of paper next to my bed. On it was written, "He arrives tonight." The next day, I tried to pretend that everything was fine. I avoided social media, didn't drink coffee, and listened to meditation. But inside, I had a feeling that I was not alone. That night, I didn't sleep. There was only darkness and tracks. They twisted into impossible shapes. The ground under my feet was trembling. And again, the sound. A thud. Tup. Thud. Now it was not a heartbeat. It was breathing. I turned around, and I saw his eyes. Real eyes, not lights. Deep inside the train, in its iron skull, something was looking at me with cold, inquisitive curiosity, like an insect under a magnifying glass. I couldn't move. And then I heard a whisper. Right in my head. The voice was deaf, rusty, as if it was coming through pipes filled with fuel oil and blood. "You've held out for a long time, but everything has an end." I woke up on a wet mattress. At first I thought it was water, but it was black, oily. It smelled like diesel. A mark appeared on my palm, burned into the skin. 2 rails twisted into the shape of an eye. I don't know how it got there, but I know what it means. It happened in 2013 in a small town near Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Cooper family moved into an old house that had been empty for almost 20 years. They were looking for a new beginning, away from the noise, closer to nature. But the house was not completely empty. It all started with a mirror. Vanessa, the daughter, found it in the attic. An old, heavy mirror in a carved wooden frame. She put it in her room. And that very night she woke up to something whispering her name. She put it down to the wind or fatigue. But in the morning, her mother noticed that the room was very cold, as if someone had opened the window, although the window was closed and sealed from the inside. The next day, Vanessa became quieter. She said that she saw things in the mirror that did not correspond to reality. When she smiled, the reflection did not smile back. When she stood up, the figure in the mirror remained sitting. One day, she saw a woman in the black standing behind her in the reflection, although there was no one in the room. Her parents did not believe it. But a week later, when the mother decided to clean her daughter's room, she found the mirror, fogged up from the inside. A mark appeared on the glass, as if someone had written with a finger. By the second week, Vanessa had completely changed. She did not leave her room. She would sit in front of the mirror for hours. She did not respond to calls. When her father tried to forcefully take the mirror away, she started screaming in a voice not her own. Her eyes became empty. After they called a priest, he refused to enter the room. He said that the mirror was not human, that it was not just glass, that it was an entrance, the entrance to something very old, cold, and hungry. That same night, my father heard a strange noise in the room. When he burst in, Vanessa was gone. The mirror had fallen, but not broken, and the inscription appeared on the glass again. She chose us. She was never found. Not a single trace, not a single clue. The house was closed. The mirror was seized as evidence. But the police quickly closed the case. Psychological instability. She ran away. She was hiding. But there is one thing. 3 years later, another family who bought the same house threw an old mirror they found in the pantry into the trash. It was cold and covered with mold. And on the inside, on the foggy glass, someone had written,